This is not exactly a topic I like to talk about, and well, it was my kind of, I guess you could say, quasi-neutral stance on this. Now, I'll be talking a little bit more about it, but yeah, I don't really care for balance creation or chaos energy anymore. I'm just like going on my own path. Like all three of them ain't working out. I just want to. If I'm gonna jump to one point, I'm gonna jump to another. Be as human as possible. But the premise of this is pretty much to say like, okay, the like what chaos has to offer is something that you have to be careful of, because in the end it can end up destroying you. Now, personally, I gotta say, I gotta just warn you first off that I've had a bit of a personal experience with using chaos energy recently that it's kind of threw me off kilter to an extent. Um, kind of want to have a balance of all three energies like our calm does, because when it comes to our calm, she was like, okay, I have energy of balance, I have the energy of chaos, and then I have the energy of creation all at once. But uh, for me, I'm not sure if I want to be able to do this myself. So if you're gonna go on that path, be careful. It can throw you off kilter pretty quickly. And like to say, I had I did something that my teacher told me a while back. If you're going to use chaos energy, uh, you better be ready for the consequences. And he pretty much told me like, if you're going to actually learn how to counter chaos energy, you have to learn how it is actually done. So like he actually sort of well, I guess protected me while I was doing these type of energy manipulations. But he kind of demonstrated to the extent what can happen to you. He sort of decoyed himself rather than allow me to get in the way and get hit by it. Uh, for some of them, though, he taught me how to defend myself a little bit more against chaos energy, so that was a plus in just about every way possible. Uh, so the point is that I was using a technique called blood hand, or something to that extent, which basically uses the blood of your enemy as a uh, I don't want to go into full detail, but I just basically uses the blood of your enemy as an attack. So, uh, but the problem is, it actually has certain aspects that it will stay with you for a long period of time, and you're not going to have an easy time of it to really get rid of it. So, in a way, it's something like chaos, earth, and water. Are those three elements? And eh, I'm I'm practically earth elemental, so that uh, that affected me quite a bit. And he kind of did a lot more to my chakra system than I thought it would. But given the reasons and the scenario I was in, I was gonna die. I really was going to die. There was no doubt of it. There were several beings that wanted my ass dead, and they wanted it dead now. They didn't want me for any specific reason other than they wanted me dead. Now this was during, when the Federation ship was overhead and trying to process all of these stasis beings. It was getting shot at by a railgun. So what I had to do is go down and try to shut it down. Well, lo and behold, there's this one guy, and I do mean one guy, that I banished from this planet forever, or supposedly banished, and told him never to come back. Well, that came with consequences if he did come back. So, the fallout from this was simple as it can be. What I basically did was I had to do something. I had to do something quick, or I would be, if you excuse a grunt term, my ass is grass. It's like there's not you're not gonna you're basically just gonna be a pile of bones rotting and feeding the grass. So yeah. That's a pleasant thought. In a way, there's a lot more than I actually expected to be there. I was completely and utterly surrounded. So I was like Jim in there, like, okay, this is gonna be easy. Nope. I was completely surrounded. I didn't know what else to do other than, okay, I see this guy, he's like, well, you're back, like, Mr. Bond sort of voice and stuff, you know? It was interesting, but at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm screwed. This is not good. So I start going after him, and the rest of these beings are completely and utterly like they're after trying to protect him. So I'm clawing them off of me, trying to do whatever I can with my other half, and it was just a mess. Eventually, I just kind of did something that I really shouldn't have. That was the blood hand. I just did what I could. Got blood on my right hand. Did whatever I could, and yeah, it pretty much got him to the point where I disabled him, and he'll never be able to speak. He'll never be able to move ever again. So he's not going to be doing any problems. Unless he's actually hooked up to a freaking biosynthetic sort of set of machinery. That's the only thing I can think of. Which I wouldn't doubt they'll try. They do have something close to that they have been researching, so I'm keeping an eye on them regardless of what I did to this guy, this being, to try and stop him and/or like, okay, you are definitely going to face the consequences of what you did. So as soon as I did this, they were like, okay, you've got the blood hand, I don't want to mess with you. It's like, they know what it was, they knew how it was used, and they very well knew that if I so much as pointed a finger in their direction, they were going to be nothing but a pile of bone and blood. So, yeah. not exactly a nice thought, to be quite honest. Oh boy. Nonetheless, this wouldn't say that be said that they would be dead, because they'd be suffering quite a bit. So yeah, I don't use this lightly. I knew that I was going to get killed because there was too many of them. For me, too many is about oh boy. Okay, I don't really want to say the number, but I'm gonna give you a rough estimate. So like 100 to 2,000, somewhere in there. I'm not gonna say the exact number. That's a pretty broad range, obviously, but nonetheless, that's where I draw the line. So, yeah, definitely outnumbered, very much in peril, that sort of thing. That's not my kind of thing. And then, yeah. Nonetheless, this did play into the whole rule of I had to do it or I was dead, sort of thing. So, you got warrior does what he does to survive, nothing more. That's my philosophy that I've always stuck to. Like, oof, repercussions from it, though, I'm paying for it. I'm already my other half is already on his back trying to heal up from oof, goodness, whatever that happened the past few days, and then I got this double whammy of energy that I'm having to deal with as well. So, not exactly the best thing to be doing. Some people call it black magic for a reason, and it's not exactly something you should be using outside of being an attack spell. So, um, well, attack energy manipulation. So I'm not gonna really say anything other than that. Um, the thing with chaos energy is you will never have control over it. It is always going to have some sort of control over you. Nice thought, isn't that? Jeez. Uh, so, yeah. Be careful with it. Very careful